years! That's how long it's been since we last touched a proper mainline Ninja Gaiden game. 13 years since Ryu Hayabusa turned rage into art and made your hands sweat with every boss fight. And now, after all that time, we finally get the combat we've been begging for. Ninja Gaiden 4 is real. It has a release date, October 21st, but instead of everyone collectively losing their minds in excitement, something weird has happened. The community isn't just buzzing with hype, it's split. Something doesn't feel right. And the more you look into the details, the clearer it gets. This isn't the Ninja Gaiden you remember. This might not even be Ninja Gaiden at all. See, the problem didn't start with the reveal trailer, it started with the dang credits. Team Ninja, the studio that bled for this franchise and gave it that signature edge, isn't fully behind the wheel this time. Platinum Game is. Yep, the Platinum Games. Studio behind Metal Gear Rising, Bayonetta, Nier Automata. Games with style, flair, and choreography. Masters of the flashy, fast-paced character action genre. And that would normally be a good thing if this were another series. But Ninja Gaiden is about looking cool. It's about dying fast. It's about learning through punishment, mastering the combat under pressure, and coming out on top only after you've been humbled. This franchise was never designed to stroke your ego, it was built to fucking break you. And that's where the concern starts to boil over. When you dig into the gameplay clips they've shown so far, you start seeing the fingerprints. Enemies that used to swarm you like rabid dogs now kind of wait their turn. They look hesitant, slower, almost passive. Combat feels choreographed. Animations are fluid, yes. Too fluid, platinum fluid. Where's the raw edge? Where's the intensity? Where's the pressure that made your heartbeat spike every time you enter a new room? And let's not even get into how much the shift in AI and pacing affects what Ninja Gaiden was known for, making you fight like your life depended on it, because in the game, it fucking did! And then comes the gut punch. We're not even playing as Ryu. Not really. The spotlight's been handed to someone else entirely. Enter Yaeko. New face, new style, new combat system. She's fast, agile, equipped with dual blades, and a combat rhythm that screams, designed by Platinum. Meanwhile, Ryu's hanging back. He's in the game, sure, but based on the footage, he feels like a sidekick in his own franchise. A nostalgic echo rather than an unstoppable force we remember. And not for longtime fans. That's not just a surprise, it's damn near sacrilege. Now listen, I'm all for expanding the universe. Adding new blood, that's cool. You want to pass the torch? Awesome. But you've got to earn it. You don't just shove a new lead in front of fans who've waited over a decade and expect them to nod along like nothing happened. Especially when the new protagonist doesn't play like she came from the same lineage. Yaiko's mechanics aren't just different. They feel like a different flipping game. A game with more dodge offsets, less resistance, and a stronger focus on stylish combos. And while it looks sexy in trailers, it raises a massive red flag. Is the entire game being rebalanced to fit her style, while Ryu gets left with watered-down encounters not built for his combat rhythm? Because here's the real problem. Enemy AI has to match the player's capabilities. If the enemies are tuned for Yaiko's quick counters and aerial combos, Ryu's heavier, grounded style could feel clunky, outdated, old. Misaligned. That creates a fracture in design, and if one of the characters feels underpowered or out of place, that's not innovation, that's imbalance. And yeah, we've seen this mess before. Ninja Gaiden 3 tried to experiment by limiting Ryu to a single weapon for most of the game. It was a disaster. Razor's Edge had to come in and fix it like a trauma surgeon. You would think they'd learn. You would think they'd never make that mistake again. But here we are. Yaiko's got a loadout. Ryu's rocking the Dragon Sword, and only the Dragon Sword. Again. And maybe that's not final. Maybe we'll get a reveal later showing him dual-wielding some ancient demonic weapon or flipping between gear like a madman. But until we see it, it's just speculation. And speculation isn't enough when you're trying to win back a fan base that still remembers getting fucking burned. Especially when the combat trailers feel like they're designed to make Yaiko look good, not to show how hard the game can be. The older Ninja Gaiden games didn't care about looking good. Those were our Elden Ring, baby. They look painful. Every frame of NG2 screamed danger. Even in a highlight reel, you could feel the urgency. In NG4's footage, you see a protagonist gliding through passive mobs with no real threat. And sure, maybe they filmed that on normal mode to keep things accessible in a public demo, but if you're showcasing a Ninja Gaiden game and the best you can say about it is, well, maybe the real thing is harder, then you've already messed up the pitch. And let's not even dance around this. There's a ton riding on this release, because if this game doesn't land, we're not getting another one. This isn't just a sequel, this is the only shot at reviving Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden 3 buried the series. Razor's Edge did CPR but didn't bring it back. NG4, this is a make or break moment. And if the platinum-infused design choices don't resonate with the community, if the combat is too light, too safe, too dang different, then it's over. Another 12-year coma. Another decade of forum threads and fan-made trailers hoping for something that might never come. And to be absolutely clear, this isn't about hating on Platinum. They're beasts in their own lane. Bayonetta is a masterpiece. Metal Gear Rising is iconic. They know how to build a character action game that just feels amazing. But that's just it. Ninja Gaiden isn't a character action game. It's a flippin' death simulator with ninja skins. The satisfaction never came from perfectly timed dodges or S-rank flair. It came from enduring, from learning, from grinding through the abuse and finally emerging victorious, blooded and broken but triumphant, and with a broken family! If Ninja Gaiden 4 ends up prioritizing looking cool over surviving hell, then it's a fundamentally different game pretending to wear the same mask. There's still a sliver of hope though, because despite all the red flags, there was a quote from the game's director, Yuji Nakamura, that made my ears perk up. He said, Ninja Gaiden 4 doesn't feel like a modern game, it's just too hard. And honestly, that's music to my flippin' ears. Because if that's true, if they're doubling down on the brutal difficulty, if they're willing to embrace the very thing that pushed casuals away but made fans loyal for life, then there might be a fighting chance this game delivers. But it has to go all in, no compromise. No blending styles just to appeal to more people. No dumbing it down to ride the Souls-like trend. Be Ninja Gaiden. Be merciless. And to all the players still on the fence, I get it. We've waited so long for this and nobody wants to see it crash and burn. We want to believe. We want to trust that the core experience is intact. But trust has to be earned. Not with pretty trailers, not with studio name drops, but with actual ruthless gameplay. Combat that kills, enemies that hunt, mechanics that don't babysit, that 4D type of blood. And Ryu Hayabusa standing tall in the center of it all, blood on his blade, reminding the world why this franchise used to be king. So here's the deal, if you're still watching, you've clearly got that Ninja Gaiden DNA in you. So smash that like button like you're hitting an Izuna drop straight into a boss arena. And let me know in the comments, are you down to roll with Yaiko, or is this still Ryu's house until further notice? Because I'm telling you right now, if they sideline Ryu without giving him his due, the backlash is gonna be louder than a Dragon Sword finisher. And if you're still craving that next level punishment, you've just unlocked a side quest. 2 paths, both lethal. One's packed with raw combat lore, and the other hits harder than a cursed boss fight. Pick your poison, I dare you. No map markers, no hand holding, just instinct. You made it this far, might as well see how deep this rabbit hole really goes. Don't forget to subscribe or you'll respawn in NG4's hardest mode, with no gear, no skills, and 0 mercy. Thanks for watching, I'll catch you in the next one.